this afternoon. Before the break, we heard some incredible insights from our speaker. And now we are moving on to our next session on role of training and placement cell.
It's not only the backbone of our institution, bridging the gap between academic learning and industrial requirements, but it also ensures that students are well prepared for their job market through various training programs, internships, and placement drives. So I would like to call upon respected Dr. Ashutosh Datta, sir, Head of EC Department. Sorry for the issue.
Before we dive into our next session, let me introduce you to our next guest, Mr. Suman Das, a research scholar, Columbia University, New York, USA. Sir is here with us to insight us on fostering innovation, creativity, and commitment to nation building. Please, sir, join us on the stage. Give a huge round of applause for Mr. Suman Das, sir.
I would like to invite Mr. Manoria, sir, to welcome our esteemed guest with the bouquet.
So, how are you all feeling over here at Samrat Ashok Technological Institute? It's my first time over here, same as your first time over here. All of you are okay with English? Okay. So, how are you feeling in your 2 days over here? Excited? Okay, so we'll have an interactive session. I want you all to contribute so that it's not a boring lecture from one side. Is it okay? Are we all in? Okay. Can we have the PPT, please? Okay. So, there'll be 2 topics I'll discuss. PPT chalane bolo. Leadership tried. There'll be 2 topics I'll discuss. First topic is what it means to be a good leader. All of us are or will be leaders in future, right? Either you will be leader of your house, you will be leader of your society, community, company, or if you're in the government, if you're in your administrative service, you all have to take on leadership positions one day or other, right? Just like in the morning session, sir was discussing that we are not animals. Animals eat, sleep, mate, drink, and be merry. That's it. They have no responsibility towards the society, right? But as human beings, what distinguishes us from the animals? We have to take responsibility for everything that we do. Now you're a student. What is your responsibility? What is your responsibility? To study, right? Why it's taking so much time? Okay. So PPT is ready. We can start. Okay. Now, what is the need of leaders in the society? I heard that SATI is among the top 5 government colleges in Madhya Pradesh, right? So, on paper, you all are among the top 1% of all the students in your batch. Am I right? So, you are the cream of the society. So, it is you in future who will become our role models, leaders. So, this hall, as I was seeing the history behind, what is this hall named about? Who can say? On whose name? Kailash Satyarthi, who he was? He was a Nobel Peace Prize winner. How many of you don't know? All of you know? He was a Nobel Peace Prize winner, right? Similarly, you have great people graduating from this institute and every other institute. And each of you will become a leader in the future, right? So now what is the role of leaders in the society? So here we have an example. We have a compass, right? Let's say you are traveling in an ocean and you don't have a compass. How will you know the goal? Where to end? हाँ, कहाँ जाना है? कैसे पता चलेगा? Right? वो कौन दिखाता है? Compass दिखाता है, right? So leaders is like that. Leaders show direction to everyone else in the society. So a good leader follows everything perfectly and becomes direction for others in the society, right? So let's take some examples. So we'll discuss today something called a leadership triad. Triad matlab? Teen. So there are three very important things: competence, commitment, and character. So we'll discuss these three things. What does it mean? Okay, competence. Who can tell what competence means? Can we pass the mic so that we can have interactive thing? Okay, what do you mean by competence? Don't Google it. What do you mean by competence? Who can say? Competent होना मतलब क्या?
कॉम्पिटिटिव होना कॉम्पिटिटिव होना
Competitive. Okay. Something better? Yes. Anyone else? Heavy lunch ले लिया क्या?
सक्षम होना
Saksham hona. Okay, very good. So competent. So whatever knowledge you will gain, whatever studies you are doing at the end, what matters? Your result, your achievements, right? So that is called competency. Dusra, character. What do you mean by character? What do you mean by character? Yes, give the mic to her. What do you mean by character, having good character?
चरित्र
मतलब क्या है?
बिहेवियर
So people around you love to be around you, right? People want to respect you as a person, right? If you are competent, they will clap only once. That's it. आपने बहुत अच्छा किया, end of the world. उसके बाद कोई ध्यान भी नहीं देगा. For a character person, everyone wants to be a person with good character. लेकिन मानो आपका character अच्छा है, competence अच्छा है, लेकिन आप जो चीज़ कर रहे हो उसमें कोई commitment नहीं है, तो will you become successful as a human being in whatever you're doing? No. So we should not only have competence, skills, educational knowledge, character, but also we should be committed to do what we are doing. समझ में आया सबको? अच्छा, फिर आगे बढ़ते हैं. यहाँ दो एग्जाम्पल्स है. ऊपर जो डॉक्टर है वो उतना एक्सपर्ट नहीं है, लेकिन कैरेक्टर फर्स्ट क्लास है. रिमेंबर, ऊपर वाला डॉक्टर का कैरेक्टर कैसे है? फर्स्ट क्लास, लेकिन स्किल्स उतना अच्छा से नहीं आता. दूसरे वाले डॉक्टर बेस्ट है, लेकिन कैरेक्टर गोलमाल है. आपको टेस्ट करते हुए आपका किडनी लिवर भी निकाल सकते हैं. ठीक है, आप किसके पास जाएंगे, पहला वाला या दूसरे वाले? पहले वाला. लेकिन ट्रीटमेंट आता नहीं ना, आँख खराब कर दिया तो आपका. किसके पास जाएंगे आप? विथ whom would you want to go? Neither, right? Neither. If character is good but not competent, what will happen? You are at risk. If he is competent but character is horrible, then you are still at risk. So both of them are needed. Am I audible till last? So we'll have a quadrant. All of you know XY axis, have studied this? Okay. So now we'll discuss in terms of quadrant. So we have X quadrant about character and Y quadrant about competence. So naturally we'll have 4 quadrant: positive X, positive X, positive X, positive Y, negative X, positive Y, and so on. So first, so here we have inverted it. Pointer nahi hai na? Okay, no issues. Everyone understood this quadrant? That if you take stuck kar de rahe. Okay. Now the fourth quadrant, what we'll start from the fourth, anti-clockwise, okay. Fourth quadrant, a person has both character and competence. Third quadrant, he has competence but no character. Second, character but no competence. And fourth, no character, no competence. ये भी stuck कर रहा है. Okay, example of fourth quadrant. No competence, no character. How many of you want to be like this? Any volunteers? Want to be like this? So a person who is in fourth quadrant, ना तो competence है, ना तो character है, उसका जिंदगी बर्बाद. No one cares about him. Right? You may feel, oh, I am enjoying very nicely, but the whole world will laugh at you. Okay? So anyway, let's not discuss further on the fourth quadrant. Now let's go to the next quadrant. Very nice character, right? See? Excellent shopkeeper. Very nice character. But what is his competence? Not so much. He only earns sufficiently for his family, runs the family, deals very nicely. Contributor to the society? Not much, because he doesn't have competence, but excellent character. Okay. Maybe someone can manually control. Very important. Do you know how many of you know him? Okay, anyone can say what his educational qualification was? Okay, give the mic to the last guy over there. Yes, what was his educational qualification? Anyone?
He was a civil engineer.
He was a civil engineer and also a nuclear scientist. So excellent competence. Do you want to be with him? Be like him? What was his character? So this is an example of excellent competence but very poor character. What about him? Was he not competent? Yes or no? He was running the entire world at a point of time, right? But what about his character? 6 crore people was killed because of him, right? So like morning sir was talking about Duryodhan and Yudhishthir, same. We are seeing modern Duryodhans and Yudhishthis. We'll see Yudhishthis now. Okay, now examples of character with competence. Our ex-president, I don't know how many of you were born when he was president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So we'll see some of his characters. He had only 6 uniforms at one point of time. 2 DRDO uniforms, 4 shirts, only 3 suits. But how many books, patents? 2,500 patents. कितना कपड़े थे उनके पास? बस 6 पे, लेकिन 2,500 पेटेंट्स थे उनके पास. Padma-Shri, Padma-Bhushan, Bharat Ratna, and he has 16 doctorates under him. So see a man of competency. Even whatever he had, he donated everything. He wrote in his will, let everything be donated. If you still go to Rameshwaram, his house, you'll find almost nothing there. Right? India's nuclear scientists, whatever today we are doing, Pokhran, nuclear, everything is credited to him. So first class character, first class competence, and 100% commitment towards what he is doing. Right? Otherwise he wouldn't be here. We are discussing his name. Lal Bahadur Shastri. How many of you know about the Tashkent Agreement? Anyone knows? India-Pakistan war was going on. Because of him, it was resolved. But there is another interesting story. सुनेंगे आप लोग सब? तो उस समय लाल बहादुर शास्त्री को 500 रुपए मिलते थे सैलरी. कितना मिलते थे? 500 रुपए. और वो पूरा सैलरी अपने पत्नी को दे देते. He used to give it to his wife. Now one person came to him asking for some donation for some work. I think his health was not good, his family, someone, he asked for some money. So Lal Bahadur Shastri said, I have nothing with me. You can go and ask my wife. So now when he went to his wife gave him 500 rupees. Okay, to that person. So Lal Bahadur Shastri came to know from his wife that she got 500 rupees. So he asked his wife, आपको 500 रुपए कहाँ से मिल गया? तो बोले आप जो पैसा देते थे ना उसमें 450 रुपए घर का खर्चा होता था, बाकी जो 50 रुपए है वो मैं सेव करके रखती थी और अभी तक वो 500 रुपए हुआ और मैं ये उसलिए उसको दे दिया. Do you know what Lal Bahadur Shastri did? He immediately wrote a letter to the Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, that please make my monthly salary rupees 450 because that is what I require for my maintenance. Nothing excess. See, no wastage of public fund. So see what kind of character and competence we had in our great presidents and prime ministers that we discussed. मेजर ध्यानचंद कौन थे? किसी को पता है ध्यानचंद कौन था? क्या? हॉकी के जादूगर. ओके, इंडियन हॉकी कैप्टन. So 1936 ओलंपिक्स कहाँ हुआ था? कौन बोल सकता है? Any quiz masters over here? 1936 ओलंपिक्स कहाँ हुआ था? Anyone knows 1936 Olympics? Give the mic to him. Give the mic to him.
Sir, it happened in Germany.
Berlin.
Yes, sir.
Who was ruling Berlin then?
Adolf Hitler.
Adolf Hitler. On 1936 Olympics में India won the gold medal in hockey. And who was India's captain? Major Dhyanchand. And you know who India bet in the final? Germany. By how many goals you know? 8-1. मतलब इतना शर्मनाक हार. और यहाँ सामने कौन बैठ कर देख रहा था? Adolf Hitler. He was watching the final match. And a dictator, Adolf Hitler. After the match, Adolf Hitler calls ध्यानचंद into his room. ध्यानचंद को अपने रूम में बुलाते हैं और पूछते हैं कि I will give you a position in my army and a citizen of Germany from tomorrow. So please join our nation and play for our hockey team. What do you think was Dhyanchand's response? Yes or no? How many of you think yes? How many of you think yes? अरे डिक्टेटर बैठा हुआ है, गोल शूट कर देगा उसको, मर जाएगा ना. हाँ नहीं बोलेगा क्या वो? और ना बोलेगा तो क्या घोषित किया जाएगा? गद्दार. राइट? देश का गद्दार. इतना बड़ा स्टैंप. राइट? तो ध्यानचंद वाज इन डायलेमा. व्हाट वाज हिज डायलेमा? कि अगर मैं हाँ बताऊं तो क्या होगा? मैं गद्दार. अगर ना बताओ तो I can be shot at sight. Dictator, World War was about to begin. So what does Dhyan Chand say? Anyone knows? कि I am an Indian, आप कुछ भी दो आप मुझे बेच नहीं सकते. I will only play for my country. I'll not give up my motherland for this. तो ये सुनकर हिटलर वॉज वेरी हैप्पी. बोले वाओ, देखो इसकी कैरेक्टर देखो, हिलेगा नहीं अपने जगह से. एंड ही लेफ्ट हिम ऑब्वियसली, प्रेजिंग हिम. सो दैट इज व्हाट character with competence means. So all of us, when we are going to become a leader in the society, we should have not only competence but character and commitment towards the goal that we are pursuing for. Otherwise, we have seen cases of Osama bin Laden, Hitler, and so many today. Corruption, sexual scandals, etc., etc. Right? Am I right? So, you have to identify your role models. If your role models is someone who is a drug addict, what will you become? Drug addict. If your role model is someone who is a womanizer or engages in all nonsense things, you will also follow that. But then what will happen? You may be competent, but you will never gain commitment nor character. And ultimately, it is you who is going to suffer. Role model will be happy. कुछ नहीं होगा उसको. ठीक है? So now, with this as the introduction, we'll discuss how we can actually improve our character with competency. Right? We are in a world where we are full of distractions. How many of you feel there is no distraction? Especially with social media. Right? So how to live, how to develop concentration in the world of distractions. Can we have the next PPT, please? Okay, so how to gain focus, how to maintain our character, how to maintain our personality, even though we are in a world full of distractions. Right? Is this important? How many of you feel it's important for you? No? Because you have a job at site. What is your job? Studies now. Later you want to take a job or you want to do something responsibly. But your mind is disturbed. It's not focused. Right? आपका studies है, लेकिन आप बाकी सब चीजों से tensed है. What are some distractions? Let's hear. What do you think some possible distractions? Anyone? Any distractions you think that affect your studies, student life? Social media. Why is it a distraction? It's good, right? Before we never used to know what's going on around the world. Today we know just by one click. Why is it a distraction? I think volunteers can pass the mic because people are answering. You can raise your hand and you can say what all distractions you think are preventing you from doing your job in your case studies.
Excess use of social media.
Excess use. Why it is a distraction?
Wasting of time.
Okay, wasting of time. Any other distractions?
सर सोशल मीडिया ऐसे डिज़ाइन होता है, प्रोग्राम ऐसे होता है कि हम उसमें ज़्यादा टाइम स्पेंड करें जितना रिक्वायर्ड है उससे ज़्यादा.
ठीक है, वो एक आंसर कर दे. एक शॉर्ट्स देखो, देखते रहते हो, सोचते हो 5 मिनट देखूंगा, 3 घंटा कट जाता है. ओके, वेरी गुड. एनी अदर? सोशल मीडिया हो गया. एनी अदर आंसर्स?
आवर बिगेस्ट अपना ब्रेन है सबसे बड़ा.
क्या?
ब्रेन करने कुछ और जाते हैं, करते कुछ और है. ये कंट्रोल में नहीं है, इसलिए सबसे बड़ा डिस्ट्रैक्शन है अपना ब्रेन.
Uncontrolled mind.
या
Mind is disturbed. Okay. Anything else?
Sir, we do not have commitment. So we use social media as...
No. Social media is one distraction. Any other distraction? Or social media is only distraction? सोशल मीडिया बंद तो आप लोग का कोई डिस्ट्रैक्शन नहीं, कल से फोकस्ड. You will be 100% effective. Is that the answer?
No, sir.
Any other distractions? नहीं, आपका गोल सेट है. कल आपका फाइनल एग्जाम है. आज इंडिया वर्सेस वेस्ट इंडीज फाइनल मैच चल रहा है. आपका मन बोलेगा मैच देखो, हालांकि कल फाइनल एग्जाम है. No, but what about tomorrow? You have your job interview. Let's say match is going on. Won't you see?
Sir, galat sangat.
No, but what about your immediate goal? Okay, okay, we'll go forward. Okay, so we can classify distractions in three main types. Simple. First, let's see what simple distractions is. See, you are all of you in student life, right? Now, who are working, for them 30,000, 40,000 may not be a big deal. But अगर आपको कुछ पैसा हो जाता है, तो उसी के बारे में सोचते हैं, how to earn more money. You know your focus is studies. But many of you will think, how can I earn more money? How to get money, right? If your parents say no, then you will see, गलत तरीके से कैसे पैसा है हमारे पास. It's a distraction. Second, cricket fever. Yes, you know that your exams are coming, you have studies, but you keep that aside, watch cricket, and then you'll study at night. And morning you'll neither have sleep, and I don't know what you'll write in the exam paper. Right? Okay. Third thing, पढ़ने बैठे हो, मन और कोई है, कुछ और सोच रहे हो. कल क्या हुआ, परसों क्या हुआ, उसने मेरे साथ कैसे व्यवहार किया, क्यों किया. Mental platform. Right? So all these are kind of gossiping. No use for life. These are all simple distractions which distract us from our main job. Right? Now we'll go deeper. Serious distractions. Very serious. Social media. Yes, social media is good, mobiles are good, but overuse of technology is not good. You can use your mobile for studies. You can use your mobile for emergency things, but at the cost of emergency, if you spend hours and hours, what it causes? It causes headache. You are exposing your body to radiations. You are weakening your nerve cells. Your brain becomes dull. You feel distressed. You feel depressed. You become alone. अकेलापन महसूस होता है. आपका दोस्त बस मोबाइल रहते हैं. मोबाइल को दोस्त बना लेते हैं. और मोबाइल क्या है? एक मशीन है. मशीन का संग करोगे कैसे हो जाओगे? धीरे धीरे मशीन हो जाओगे. और जो ह्यूमन फीलिंग्स है उससे आज हम लोग धीरे धीरे दूर चले जा रहे हैं. Therefore, we see all this loneliness, suicides, mental depression. You know, in India, recently there has been a study, 1 in 3 people suffer from mental depression. Why? Because there is no relation, no feelings. Your feelings are only with mobile, emoji, okay, this, done. But there is no physical feelings, right? Okay, things like, this is your age of study. Okay, if you get into too much boyfriend, girlfriend culture, right? Dating, parties, what will happen? Mind will only think about those things. हाँ या ना, पढ़ने भी बैठोगे, क्लास में भी बैठोगे, वही सोचते रहोगे. But there is an age for all of this, right? Okay, now dangerous distractions. How many of you think, okay, let's not say this, but you know smoking is causes cancer. लिखा रहता है ना पैकेट में. उसका मतलब क्या? Cancer causes death, मृत्यु. लेकिन जो स्मोक करते हैं उसका मीनिंग क्या? वो अपने आप को तरपा तरपा के मारने में अधिक रुचि रखते हैं. Right? He is committing एक तरह का सुइसाइड, स्लो पॉइजनिंग, एक दिन ना मर के धीरे धीरे अपने को मार डालने का. अल्कोहल कॉजेस लिवर इश्यूज, अपने लिवर को धीरे धीरे खत्म कर देता है. तो जो एक बार अल्कोहल पिएगा उसके बाद कभी नहीं पिएगा, ऐसे होता है? बार बार लेगा तो क्या होगा? धीरे धीरे लिवर खराब हो जाएगा. अभी लगेगा जवानी है, कुछ नहीं होगा, लेकिन 10 साल बाद का तो सोचो. सो व्हाट हैपेंस? What happens? Such a person is committing suicide only, slow suicide, right? He has no care for his family, for his parents, for his relatives, for the society. He only thinks about himself, right? So how a dangerous distraction it is. हमको लगता है कि कोई अगर कोई भी डिप्रेशन में है तो आदमी ये सब गलत चीज में जाता है, सोचते हैं कि डिप्रेशन से बाहर आ जाएगा. नहीं आता है, ओनली कुछ पलों के लिए लगता है अपने आप को भूल गए, फिर से वो शुरू हो जाता है. सो यू आर नाउ इन द फर्स्ट ईयर. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू टू नो दिस थिंग्स. इफ यू डोंट नो, इफ यू गेट इनटू दिस, देन व्हाट हैपेंस? What happens? Life will be ruined. Out of drinking, how many accidents are happening every day, you know? कितना accidents होता है, कितना sexual scandals होते हैं, all under drinking, right? And then other things, जुआ खेलना, हाँ जुआ खेलना, casinos में जाना, आजकल modernize हो गया ये सब. But it is actually causing self-distraction. एक बार महाभारत आज सुबह डिस्कस हो रहा था ना, महाभारत युधिष्ठिर महाराज ने जुआ खेल के सब कुछ गवा दिया, अपने पत्नी को भी गवा दिया. कितना डेंजरस है दिखाने के लिए गया, महाभारत में दिया गया है ना. सो लाइक दिस पीपल लूज देयर होल लाइफ अर्निंग्स इन द नेम ऑफ गैम्बलिंग. सो वेरी डेंजरस डिस्ट्रैक्शंस. सो व्हाट वी रिक्वायर इज फोकस एंड कंसंट्रेशन. तो सबसे पहले हमको जानना चाहिए हमारे डिस्ट्रैक्शन क्या है, प्रॉब्लम क्या है. बिना प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन का कोई फायदा नहीं. नाउ व्हाट इज द सॉल्यूशन, दैट विल डिस्कस नाउ. सो टिल नाउ क्लियर? एनी क्वेश्चंस, एनी डाउट्स? ऑल इफ यू एग्री दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम, एनीवन डजंट एग्री विथ मी? सम पीपल आर ऑलरेडी ऑन सोशल मीडिया as I speak. So everyone think this is a real problem and needs to be addressed? Yes? Okay, now let's go forward. Okay, this is another thing. अर्जुन का फोकस कहाँ था? और उसके आंखों में था. बाकी लोग का कहाँ था? पेड़ पौधे आसपास सब दिख रहा था. So that is what is meant by focus and commitment. If you are committed, you will only see the goal, not everything around. So you are studying, you may have environment problems, you may have distraction from your roommates, you may have family issues, but none of this should bother you. Such a person is a committed person, right? So we'll skip this. Another example of focus. If we focus sunlight, where will it converge? To paper. That paper will burn. Have you ever tried this? How many of you tried this? Did the paper burn? So that is what means focus, pinpointed. Can you go next? Yeah, this is a common phenomenon. In US it happens, and I've seen it's happening in India also. मोबाइल में नोट्स बनाते हैं बच्चे. मोबाइल इज इन SATI in classroom. Mobile is allowed in their classroom when classes are going on. Okay, actually IITs have banned mobile. If mobile is found, it will be sent to dean. But okay, you can use it for taking notes. लेकिन notes लिखते क्या करते हैं लोग? ऑनलाइन शॉपिंग कर लेते हैं, सब कुछ करते हैं बैठ कर. Right? You are coming for studies, but you don't care about it. Okay. So this is something morning that we have discussed, right? Sir has discussed. So there are three things: mind, body, and soul. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, अगर कोई मर गया तो हम बोलते हैं ना ये चला गया है, लेकिन उसका तो मृतदेह है, तो चला गया मतलब कौन गया? The soul has gone, not the body. Now, okay, what is the mind then? For example, when you are asleep, you get dreams. So your body is at rest, but your mind is still working. If someone is in coma, mind is rest, body is at rest, but soul is still there. When the soul goes out, it's called death. Clear? So now, most of us focus on bodily levels, right? This drinking, smoking, all distractions are for whom? For the body, right? Or we go for the mental level, but we don't care about the soul level. कभी ऐसे हुआ है आपका कुछ अंदर से, इंग्लिश में इंट्यूशन बोलते हैं, मन कुछ बोला लेकिन अंदर से ऐसे लग रहा है कि ये सही है? हुआ है कभी? कुछ भी गलत कर रहा है, ऐसा लगता है कि नो, आई एम डूइंग समथिंग रॉन्ग, बट स्टिल यू डू इट बिकॉज योर माइंड सेज गो एंड डू. अंडरस्टूड? यस, ऑल ऑफ यू हैव एक्सपीरियंस विद दिस. अंदर से कुछ और आवाज आता है, कुछ और फील आता है, राइट? सो दैट इज व्हाट इज एक्टिंग ऑन द सोल प्लेटफॉर्म. जैसे आप कभी कभी होता है कुछ गलत होने वाला है, अंदर से कुछ आ जाता है, लेकिन इफ यू नेग्लेक्ट दैट, दैट मीन्स यू आर एक्टिंग ऑन मेंटल प्लेटफॉर्म. Very simple to understand. So can you go next slide? Right? So body क्या है? एक machine का external parts है जो हमको जो चाहिए वो करता है. Mind क्या है? उसका जो ऑपरेशन, कोड, जो सॉफ्टवेयर है. और सोल क्या है? जो कोडिंग करता है, जो मशीन को चलाता है. Clear? Is this concept clear? Can we go next? Okay, this is short section, I'll skip through. How bad habits affect our career. See this person, he has no control over eating. What will happen if you eat too much? Food will enjoy you. You think I will enjoy food? Later, food will enjoy you, right? If you eat too much fast foods, what will happen? Today nothing will happen. 5 years down the line, diabetes, liver problem, heart problem, cancer, that's it. So intelligent person thinks of today and tomorrow also, not only for today, right? Okay. तो अगर इतना खाएगा तो काम कर पाएगा क्या? जाकर सो जाएगा सोफा में, right? ओवर कंट्रोल, अनरेगुलेटेड ईटिंग क्या होगा? नींद आ जाएगा पढ़ने के समय. एंड वन हु स्लीप्स टू मच क्या हो जाता है उसका? एक्टिव होता है ना ज्यादा सोने से, और लेजी हो जाता है. यू बिकम मोर लेजी, देन हाउ विल यू डू व्हाट यू आर मेंट फॉर? एम आई राइट? सो देयरफॉर वी हैव टू रेगुलेट आवर ईटिंग एंड स्लीपिंग ऑल्सो. Generally 6 to 8 hours sleep is sufficient for a human being. Depends on the body, 6 or 8. If you sleep less, you will become weak. If you sleep more, what will happen? You will become more lazy. Okay? Similarly, if you eat more, you will have digestion problems. You eat control, you will be focused. हाँ, पूरा रात भर दारू पिया, फिर क्या होगा? He cannot focus in his work, right? Overeating, oversleeping. Can we please go next? This I have discussed. हाँ, if character is bad, you will also get into unnecessary problems in your work field. You can go next. We'll come to the solution. Yeah, so the mind is generally compared to a mad elephant. देख रहे कैसे हो रहे? हम इधर बैठ रहे लेकिन हम सोचते हैं 10 साल बाद ये होंगे, सपने के दुनिया में रहते हैं. यस और नो? पढ़ने बैठते और मन में चलते कल क्रिकेट मैच में क्या हुआ, वो न्यूज में क्या हुआ, घर में क्या चल रहा है. यस और नो? सो माइंड इज लाइक अ mad elephant, which, if not controlled, will finish off everything. Can we go next quickly? Okay, now we come here for solution. So how do we control our mind? How do we become more committed and develop our character? First thing we discussed, we had so many distractions. I hope you identified your distractions. So you have to all keep your distractions to minimum, as less as possible. The less your distractions, more control the mind is. Again, break your task into small pieces. Like if you sit for 3 hours for studying, how many of you think you'll be focused? No one? No one? किसी को पसंद नहीं है लंबे समय तक पढ़ने का? 3-4 घंटा एक जगह बैठकर पढ़ने का? What will happen? You might sit for 3-4 hours, but mind will be all around, right? So therefore break into small times, 20 minutes, 30 minutes interval. That's where human focus is. Again, prioritize work. What is your priority? Like I said, tomorrow is your exam. Is your priority to watch India versus West Indies final? Or is your priority to study for the exam? So whatever is your priority, your mind will act accordingly. If you think exam is not so important, cricket match is more important, or going for a party is more important, then that means you are giving first priority to that. But what is your current job? What's your current job? Studying. You're a student. So which should be your first priority? Studies. But we give priority to other things. So make a schedule, make a plan, know your priorities. What else? Yeah, too much time on phone we have discussed sufficiently. And also you can delegate it to others. Like ऐसे नहीं कि हर चीज हमको ही करना है, जो दूसरे से कर सकते हैं उसको करवा सकते हैं. Okay? So these are some tips. Now we'll go further. Okay, this is an analogy how to control the mind. Again, you have 5 horses. Can anyone say what these 5 horses represent? Okay, these are the 5 senses. What are the 5 senses? Eyes, ears, nose, mouth and skin, right? So if the 5 senses drag us, जैसे tongue, mouth, गुलाब जामुन देखा, 10 खाया, और खाएंगे 50 खाएंगे, क्या होगा? पेट भरने अस्वस्थ हो जाओगे. Similarly, eyes, right? You see something nonsense, then again your eyes will say, do it more, do it more. So if your senses are uncontrolled, then it will carry the driver. Who is the driver? The mind is the driver, and the person sitting inside is the passenger. That's the soul. So what happens if your senses are running? The driver ठीक से ड्राइव नहीं कर पाएगा, और पैसेंजर क्या होगा? उसका हालत खराब हो जाएगा. मानो ड्राइवर को पता ही नहीं है कहाँ जाना है, और घोड़ा ही ले जाए ड्राइवर को, क्यों क्या होगा? What will happen? What will happen? Not only will the passenger lose his destination, but the driver is also gone case. So you have to act on your senses. That's what we discussed. Okay, so we'll end with 2 more slides. So our mind is nothing but a microprocessor. Those who will study EC electronics, they know what a microprocessor is. Our mind is nothing but a microprocessor. And these hands, legs, speech, genitals, everything we have are like the motors. Okay, आप लोग पढ़े हो motor? Motor पढ़े हो? 11, 12 JEE में नहीं पढ़े? Okay. So, what the sequence is, हम लोग जो सोचते हैं, the thought, that actually turns into words. जैसे हमारा सोच है, कभी ना कभी वैसे निकलेगा. So whatever is your words, same will become your actions. And as your actions develop, those will become habits. So if you do nonsense, you will have nonsensical habits. If you do good things, you will have good habits. So if you think, if your mental level you think positively, how your actions will be? Positive. What your habits will be? Positive. And therefore what your character and destiny will be? Positive. So where is the problem? At the mind level, right? So जैसे आपका सोच, वैसे आपका कर्म, वैसे आपका character, वैसे आपका destiny, right? We saw some examples. Which example we saw? Let's see who can remember what examples we discussed. Anyone remembers any examples we discussed today? No, no one remembers. Examples of good character, good competence, no one remembers? Yes. Now so many hands are coming up. Tell. We saw APJ Abdul Kalam. We saw Lal Bahadur Shastri. We saw Dhyan Chand, right? So these are examples of control mind and character. And you see where their destiny was, right? So therefore, at this age, it is very important to control on our mind, restrict the distractions. जैसे हम मन में सोचेंगे, वो धीरे धीरे हम वैसे बनाएंगे. Just like you make a blueprint, ऐसे घर बनाऊंगा सोचते हैं, फिर उसका drawing बनाते हैं, और ultimately वैसे घर बनता है. Okay, so keep good association and uplift your habit. So ये जो पूरा मैंने बोला है 40-45 मिनट तक, I'll give a short mnemonym, okay? Short thing how to understand it better. Okay, if you put garbage in, what will come out? Garbage out, right? Can you go forward quickly? Okay. So remember, so there we'll have a short mnemonic A, B, C, D, E. Okay? Now A stands for association. A stands for association मतलब हिंदी में संग. तो आप जैसे संग करते हो वो आपका चरित्र को दिखाता है, दर्शाता है, right? Like if you associate with drunkards, what will you become? How many times will you say no? 2 बार 3 बार, लेकिन ultimately you will become a drunkard. If you associate with productive people, creative people, positive role models, what will you become? Right? So your association is what matters the most. Who is your friend circle? Who are people around you? Who are your role models? If you have negative association, then you are finished, right? Okay. Now B. B stands for what kind of books, or in today's world, movies, what kind of music, what kind of novels you read, right? Let's say you always read crime, horror, murder, crime patrol, CIDs, all this kind of things. What will go in your mind? Only all these things, right? Mind gets so much disturbed. Newspaper में हर दिन क्या आता है? कोई मर गया, किसी का रेप हुआ, किसी का मर्डर हुआ, किसी का एक्सीडेंट हुआ. So every day if you focus on these things, what will happen? Your mind will also think, अरे ये ऐसे मर गए, ऐसे होगा. You see CID, crime patrol, you'll think, oh, how to commit crime intelligently. Yes or no? You read horror movies, horror stories, what will go on in your mind? All these horror things, right? You'll get horror dreams. Yes or no? So therefore, what influences is what kind of movies, what kind of books, what kind of songs we hear. If you hear very passionate songs, your mind will always think about that. You might be studying, but your mind gungunate rahenge wo sab. But if you hear Satvik means mode of goodness songs. If you see motivational movies, if you read wisdom books, even your study books, or spiritual books like the Bible, Gita, Quran, Will this ever give you depression? Will this ever cause problem in your life? No, right? So what kind of books you study? So B for books. A for? Okay, B for? Now C. C is for character. What kind of character you have? No one wants to be with an angry person, right? Do you want to be with an angry person? Do you want to be a person who is very proud? इतना गर्व करते हैं अपने बारे में, पसंद करोगे उनके आसपास रहना कि अपने ही अच्छा ही करते रहते हैं, right? So what is C stands for? Character. A, B, C. Now D, very important, is diet. What kind of diet you have? And what times you are eating. If you are unregulated, eat at 1 o'clock in the night. Or you fast in your breakfast. पूरा रात सोओगे, breakfast bunk करके college आ जाओगे. क्या होगा? Body will not get your nutrition. So your diet will influence your mind. मन अच्छा नहीं लगेगा, पढ़ाई में ध्यान नहीं रहेगा. How will you do your job? Am I right? So D is diet. If you eat only fast food, only Coke, Pepsi and all this, do you think these are giving energy to your body? Yes or no? Okay, so what is D? Diet. And last E is environment. Environment मतलब आपके वातावरण. Which environment are you staying? The environment you stay, if it is very polluting, very distracting, very tamasic, very demotivating, full of distractions, will you be able to do your studies or job or responsibility as a leader? No, right? So it's very important that we take care of this 5, A, B, C, D, E in our life. Again, let me see if you can repeat. What is A for? B, C, D, E. So if you haven't taken anything from what I have told till now, if you remember this 5, I would think whatever I have said is success and you can remember. So, can we go to the next slide, please? Concluding slide. So therefore, starve from your bad habit. Bad habits को खिलाओ मत. आग में घी मत डाला करो और, right? Starve your bad habits. Obviously, abstain from bad people, bad objects, distracting things. Can we go forward, please, quickly? And replace it with good association, good habits. Can we go again? And stay away from tempting environment. So, I'll tell another 1, 2, okay, you can go to the next thing. You can go to the next slide, please. Can we go to the next? Next slide, next. Okay. So with this quote, I'll speak another 1 sentence and I'll end. So feed your mic with the good, clean, pure, powerful and positive. Then it will show in your actions, it will show in your words, it will show in your character and it will make your destiny. So I'll just say 1, 2 words. Like I have been associated with an Inspire Club, which is there in many IITs and NITs. So Professor Dr. Saxena sir, I would like to propose, if the management is interested, that with help of Dr. Saxena sir and with mentorship, we can have such sessions on online or on regular basis, which can actually keep you motivated, enthusiastic for not getting distracted from the path of life. So my success and the success of so many other students have been based on this kind of sessions. So with that, I would like to end, and again with another final quote: fence your mind from bad, unclean, impure, weakening and negative inputs. Okay, any questions? Any questions? Any comments? Okay, we can have 1, 2 questions. Yes. Where are the volunteers? Can you please pass the mic to him? किसी का कुछ समझ में नहीं आया, कुछ प्रश्न है, कुछ interest है, you can ask. Was the session helpful? How many of you think it was waste of time?
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay.
My name is Karan.
Okay.
I'm from Pandona district. My question is, सब कह रहे हैं कि सोशल मीडिया डिस्ट्रैक्शन है. अगर सोशल मीडिया डिस्ट्रैक्शन है तो गूगल सॉफ्टवेयर जो है, फेसबुक है, इंस्टाग्राम है या टेलीग्राम बोलो, जो भी चीज़ है, ये सब सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर्स ने बनाया है. अगर ये डिस्ट्रैक्शन है तो अगर ये गलती से भगवान ना करे कि ये कभी बंद हो, क्योंकि अगर ये डिस्ट्रैक्शन है, अगर ये बंद हो गया तो आधे सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर की जॉब चली जाएंगी. तो आप इसके बारे में क्या कहना चाहेंगे? क्योंकि सोशल मीडिया डिस्ट्रैक्शन उसके लिए है कि जो उसको ज़्यादा यूज़ करता है. ये हमारे लिए, जैसे कि मैं सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर बनूंगा 4 साल के बाद, अगर ये भगवान ना करे कि ये बंद हो जाए तो मैं इसके लिए आगे क्या कर पाऊंगा? सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर की डिग्री मेरे कोई काम की नहीं है. फिर आप किसके बारे में क्या बोल सकते हैं?
Okay, very good question.
और वैसे तो मेरा ड्रीम था आईआईटी मद्रास में जाने का, लेकिन मेरे मम्मी पापा वैसे बेंगलुरु में रहते हैं, मैं यहाँ मामा के यहाँ रहता हूँ. और मतलब
Okay, okay. Got it, got it. See, first of all, social media, overuse of social media is a distress. Today, like WhatsApp, if WhatsApp is not there, how many, if this QR code scanner, WhatsApp groups are not there, is it easy for to live in today's world? No. If things like Facebook, Instagram, they're good, but overuse of that. जैसे एक बार देखो घंटे पे घंटे, what we are discussing is unnecessary overuse of social media, not using social media. And as far jobs are concerned, with artificial intelligence, jobs are reducing. Google is throwing off this time 2,000 workers. Facebook is daily removing workers. And आज से 10 साल पहले jobs की उतना कमी नहीं थी जो आज हो रहा है. So as far as software engineering is concerned, it is not only based on social media. Core software engineer, if you are a computer science engineer, is based on data analytics, which talks about banking sector, investment sector, information sector, broadcasting sector, commercial sector, and foreign exchange. So ये जितना भी sectors है, services, सब computer science engineer करते हैं. Social media is only a very small fraction of it. Google 90% is not social media. Google का कौन सा social media है बताओ? No. News is different from social media. Okay, I think we can discuss in person after, right? Because time is up. So there are so many avenues for software engineers. Every year, many software engineers get graduated from this institute. And you'll see there are so many avenues. So don't think if you don't have social media is the only job. But yes, social media is useful, not overuse. Okay, thank you very much for your patience. And I hope you take back A, B, C, D, and E from today's section. Thank you.
There couldn't have been better words than this. Thank you so much, sir, for your guidance. Now I request Dr. Shakya, sir, to please come on the stage to present memento to the sir. Give a huge round of applause to sir.